Let it go live. There it is. Andalusia Marine, located in Andalusia, Alabama. Your express, all-wheel stick steering, Polarcraft, Starcraft, Veranda pontoon dealer. One call heating, air, and refrigeration. Mr. Stephen Dubb, air conditioning guy you can trust. RMC Mechanical Contractors, located in Chelsea, Alabama. Give us a call for all your industrial contracting needs. Styler Arms, located in Bessemer, Alabama. You can also pick these rifles up at Simmons Sporting Goods. That is a Steyr Scout in that picture. I've been hunting with a pro hunter for about 30 years, guy. One of the finest rifles made. Pick one up today, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Alpha Plumbing, Mr. D. Robinson. He's been with us since day one. Call him for any of your plumbing needs, a plumbing guy you can trust. CT Ward Power Sports, Camden, Alabama on Highway 28. Your Excel center console, side console, golf your pontoon, Hustler Lawnmower, and Mercury and Yamaha service dealer. Power brakes. If you want to get your total boat control under control, get you a set of these. Give old Chad Clifton a call. www.mypowerbrakes.com. All right, everybody.
What's going on?
Oh, yeah, man. Glad to be back. Got John and Jessica back. I'm back with all my equipment. Don't have a sorry signal like I did in Gaydon, Louisiana. So we back, man. How was y'all's Christmas, John, and everything?
It was good.
It was really good. We had an unfortunate incident with one of our family members, but other than that, we had a great Christmas. The kids were happy, and everything went really well. Looking forward to New Year's.
Oh yeah.
Have a VR headset. Buy you one.
Yeah, the kid Jessica's kind of taking over one of the VR headsets. That virtual reality, headsets. It's been fun to watch her. I got some real good videos I can share with y'all. Her doing it and about hitting me where you don't want to get hit. Trying to play a game.
There you go.
Oh
yeah, I had to turn my mic on and turn it back off. Yeah, I didn't do me. I fished and I didn't eat too much, and I fished. So I fished Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So.
Oh yeah, I saw you a bit. Oh, I gotta tell y'all a funny story about Shane. What he did.
yeah, might as well let it on out of the bag, boy.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell it right here at the store. Shane, he got him a 8616 Garmin and went down there to pick it up in South Alabama. He and Big Daddy did, and they went and got it. He's sitting there picture. Got my 16. Got my 16. And he got back going back home after being at Big Daddy's house. He said, "You believe what I did?" I said, "What's that?" He said, "I left it in Big Daddy's truck." I said,
I did.
I sent a group message to Shane, Big Daddy, and myself. I said, Big Daddy, I guess you got a good Christmas present. You got a Garmin 8616 for free. I said, Shane just left it in the truck.
I dang sure did. I was getting everything ready to go and took off. I got about, 30, 40 miles up the road. I called John. She ain't gonna believe what I did. He said, what? I said, Big Daddy, it was nice because we were sitting there Christmas Day. It was raining. And he said, man, let's just go get your unit and go by Atmore and go by the Wind Creek and play on the penny slots. And what I said, man, that's a good idea. We'll go eat. And we made a day trip out of it. But I went fishing that evening and it messed me all up, I guess. So. But I'm going through there on the way this weekend, though. I'm headed down through there and going to pick it up. So.
Shane's doing one of those experimental trips like my buddy Scott. We call Scott Scout because he's a scout. He'll go find the places that we thinking about going. Scout will go down there and check them out. Shane's checking out a new spot. We won't say anything about where he's going, but
yeah.
Hey,
I'm on those around in there. They said there's crappie in it, so we're gonna check it out.
Hey, and this time of year is the time to sniff around one. You can look around, find them big schools, and test them out. If you go in the deeper part of these lakes or the deeper part of these smaller places, getting that deep channel bend and stuff like that, you find a big school. That's when you get to test out what the lake's got.
That's a good point, John. I mean, everybody wants to wait till springtime to hit the banks, but they don't realize now, if you find them, you find them. I mean, you want
to take you a sample of a lake right now is the time to do it. Go out there and find those big schools and cast on them and say, oh, well, 8 inch or 8 inch, go to another part of the lake, 8 inch. Oh, go to another lake, 12, 13, 14 inch. Hey, it might be on to something. When those black crappie school up together, right now's the time to take your old sample of what they got going on.
Yeah, me and you went to Okeechobee, in the summer.
I did.
We left Grenada, and John goes, "Hey, I don't know nothing about it." John was whacking them before I could get my boat off the trailer. He was like, "Hey, man, I'm out here," and he literally caught 15 or 16 before I even got around there, and
Well,
I guarantee you that lake's on fire right now too.
Probably is. What the key to that was, Shane, and me and you talked about after the fact. The night before we got on that lake, I got on that map and I said,
That's right.
I saw a lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? I had 2 creek channels coming in.
Oh yeah, that's where you started too.
It was close to an area that was coming together. I said, I'm gonna start right there. Sure enough, dropped in, boom, there's fish. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did. We caught some good fish, and what was cool about the trip, guys, while we're on it, we got back to the launch, and there was a guy fishing on the bank. He goes, "Man, y'all doing any good?" I said, "Man, you want some fish?" He said, "Yeah." He showed up with this little bucket. I said, "No, man, that bucket ain't gonna get it." He said, "Huh?" I said, "No, man, I got that bucket. There's 40, 50 fish right here." He said, "Huh?" I mean, it was funny.
What funny was I was gonna give my fish to Shane, and Shane got to the bank, and my fish was already given away. I didn't even have a clue. He said
Yeah, that guy cracked him a beer. Said, "Man, I'm calling me some help for clean these fish." It was, man, he got fired up. Hey, it was kind of unplanned. We just talked about it, on our way from Grenada. John's like, "Hey, man, let's hit that lake on the way," and I was like, "Heck, it's on the way," So
yeah,
both of them. So
an industrial garbage bag in his truck. We double bagged it, and oh boy,
sure did. Hey,
we seen him
sure did.
with an double bagged industrial bag, garbage bag full of fish, and he was happy as he could be.
Yep. Oh, Don Chambers. He said, "I've been tearing them up in South Central Indiana, suspended over brush." I bet you have. I bet it's on fire up north right now. I bet it is.
Oh, I guess, Shane, we end up far enough in. I can talk about my little road trip I had before Christmas.
Yeah, man.
My buddy Scott Seiler and I, we left out. He wanted to do a little trip before Christmas, and where we live, we're not that far from Talcott or Seminole. So Jessica, she was doing some family stuff, and so Scott and I, we did a trip, and we had 2. The first day we had 3 other boats with us. The second day we had, I think, 2 other boats. Anyway, left out, went down to Talcott. Wind forecast was going to be good. Was not good. The weatherman lied again. So we went down there where the fish had been, and the cold front had come through. The bait was pushed down. The bait was pushed down to like 14, 15 feet.
That's not good.
So which pushed the crappie down, and it spread them out. And so we fished that morning from, I don't know, about 4 hours, and we had 10 fish, and it was just like here, there, and the guys that with us, I think they might have not caught but like 1 apiece on Talcott. Normally, right. Time you're Talcott, you got big pools, you can just pools around and do really well. Well, it was sucking real bad, so I told my buddy, I said, "Look, man, we can go run up the road right here above
30 minutes.
Yeah, and let's do that." So finally, about 10:30, 11 o'clock, we left Talcott and moved up the road. We got on some fish, got us a couple of limits, and then we spent the night up there. And the next day, same thing. Good fish.
Oh yeah, y'all were the next day. That Saturday, Saturday, wasn't it? Yeah,
Friday, I think Friday.
And then the next day, y'all were limited out by 10:30 in the morning, wasn't you? If I remember right, yeah.
Yeah, we fished Thursday and Friday. Friday, we had 2 limits by
That's 10. It.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I couldn't remember.
Oh. But here's the deal. It was still black crappie. It was still, hey, I'm dropping a jig on them, and if I do anything wrong and I flatline that fish gets flat, he was.
Oh yeah.
He was going back. We still had to keep the fish coming up at a 45 and present the bait as slow return, not jigging it a whole lot. We still had to do those things. But
That's right. That's what I want people to realize, guys. John and I share tips on here. Really, how these schooling fish are. There's some of them, guys. When that jig hits the water and they see the bubbles, they're coming. But that don't happen. A lot of times it don't happen, and they're temperamental. And there's a few tricks that you'll learn. You'll learn them on your own. You'll learn not to get below the school. You'll learn to try to keep it above it. You'll learn to shake your jig, because it's going to be frustrating if you don't pay attention to somebody helping you. I mean, I promise you, because when I first started, you don't even want to. I said a bunch of choice words, I'm sure. So, because it's so aggravating seeing those fish, and Big Daddy got to experience that this weekend. Me and him seen some big fish this weekend, and they had a sorry attitude. We caught some, and I'm glad he went, because he got to see something he's never seen on that Alabama River as far as a schooling fish. And I enjoyed that. He caught a couple of them, and and now he knows what the gig is. If the fish act correctly, he's going to be able to go out there and catch them. But what we share on here, guys, I'm telling you, you need to try to even go back and watch the show and say, hey, man, they told me, we need to do this, that, and the other, because you got to learn it. Right now, school's in session till what, John, February on most places,
Yeah, until they start going on stage, and right there, where they're going to go in the spawn, they're going to school. Yeah, they're going to school up, and what's kind of crazy right now is the schools are moving faster still. They're going to slow down and really.
Oh, yeah, they like creeping. I like that when they're creeping.
Yeah.
You can get, and John, I tell you guys, you could stick that first fish and kind of leave them in that school when they're creeping, and that next guy can throw in there and get him one, and that, because that fish is fighting in the school and they don't know anything's going on. So it's fun.
And that's a good question right there, Jason, and like Don Everett's got there.
Yeah, I'll get it, and then I'll go back and catch that other question. Go ahead.
I'm getting, we got the.
Yeah, we got the boss lady over there. We'll go back. There's Steven's got a question right above it. I promise you I'll go back to it. Jason and Dawn Evert said, can y'all talk about jigs, plastic versus hand-tied jigs, advantages or disadvantages? That's a great question, aside from cost. You just want to compare apples to apples. Go ahead, John.
Bud, here's the deal. If you can get them to eat plastics, throw plastics.
Amen.
It's a lot tougher on your wallet to throw hair jigs. But tell them about shooting dogs some more.
Are you going to lose one about every 3 or 4?
Yeah, you're going to lose a lot of jigs.
Well, I'm sorry, I am.
Yeah, shoot.
I do too. I donate a bunch of them.
Yeah, so. It's not that. If you want to go deep in some cover or whatever, or any brush, you're gonna lose jigs, and it's cheaper to lose a plastic with a jig head than it is a hand tie. These guys that tie hand ties and sell them, my hat's off to them. I tie jigs. I do not sell them, but I cannot imagine in my mind, what I would charge if I had to sit there at that vise and sell hand ties. Because I enjoy doing it. It's therapeutic, and you can enjoy tying it. But as far as sitting there and tying them and tell somebody, I tie them a dozen as to give somebody, as a gift. And to me, it means a lot because I did it. But I cannot imagine doing it as a job. But it's like so. The best thing I tell you is, if you can get away with plastics, use plastics. If you have to use hair jigs, use them. But now you go to shooting docks, bud, stick with them plastics because.
Hey man, on that it's unless it's just a floating dock and it don't have much in it, the hand ties you can slow down a little bit more, but and you can slow them down, but they also fall a little slower. So. If the fish are shallow, Jason, I'll try a 30-second plastic, and I'll also throw a 16th hair jig. It just depends on the situation. But like John said, I'm going plastic first, and hopefully they hit the little pink head, monkey milk, whatever. I hope they crack that first, and then we can go from there. But there's not really advantages or disadvantages to me. It's just, but like John was saying, besides the cost and you losing them. But
Shane, we need to mention one thing tonight. Tonight is a rod giveaway night. We're not doing it
right now. Yeah.
First, behind me. Right now.
But, they've got 90 people on here, so we might as well explain it now.
Okay.
Boss lady, let y'all know.
Yeah, boss lady will let y'all know.
You got to look, guys. Not now, but when Jessica says now, type in www.fishoutlaw.com. When she says now, and then she's going to say number whatever, I know a lot of people start typing in, but have that thing typed in, guys. That way you can win a rod. She says 7, 9, 10, and then I'll go through here. And again, my screen updates fast because I'm the host. So I promise you I'm honest as I can be about it. If it's number whatever, that's going to be the winner because I don't do it quickly. So we go about and do it. But somebody asked a question. Go ahead, John.
In order to win, you need to type it in here, share it on your page eventually that you did it,
Yes.
your actual Facebook page, and we'll verify both places. If you win the rod, and we'll have it shipped out in a week or week and a half. Holden got his last Thursday or Friday. He won the last. Holden Higgs did, and he's been enjoying it. So we're proud of that.
Yeah, good deal.
We use it all the time. The one we giving away, we wouldn't be giving it away if we didn't use it.
That's what solely rod they use. Stephen Kidmore, man, I got to your question, buddy. Hey there, guys. Have y'all ever tried a double hook rig with a jig on top and a minnow? I know you have trolling, John. So
absolutely.
Versus wondering about the weight y'all use is what he was wondering. What kind of weight, if you're on the bottom or up top, or if any weight, if you got,
Well, but all right, here's the deal. You want your heavier weight on the bottom. That way it's not floating up to your lighter weight. This is if you're spider rigging, but or power trolling, whatever you're doing, or coming out the back, whatever you're doing, you want your heavier jig on the bottom. That way it's below the lighter one. I have mixed it up every combination you can. We've got some fish close to where we live that are out on some flats. I want to spider rig them so bad. Jessica, she goes with me. She never, and she's like hell. Like, she wants to cast all the time, so we're not gonna mess with it. But I'm taking a little boy fishing tomorrow, Saturday, and I wish that I could pull some lines out the back of the boat for him. It'll be easier for him and his daddy, But because our fish are kind of spread out right now, our water got some color to it, and immediate change on those fish will spread those fish out, and they'll pull back together after they get used to it. But right now we got some mud after this drought, and our fish are just spread out. So I feel like I could come over to those flats and just drag some jigs over top of it and probably do really well. But we're not going to do that. I'm just going to take the young man. I think he's 6 years old, and just work with him.
Hey, everybody needs to go to John's page to see his cane pole episode he did.
Oh,
Eric Cagle, one of our good friends, he posted a video of him catching some on a Zebco 33. I think he caught a limit on it, he told me. And John was like, man, he got out there, and John got him a cane pole now, got tape on there, and he goes out there and cracked one. Go ahead, John. Tell the story about it. It's a pretty good story.
So, Cagle has some fish, and then he just shows a little picture of a Zebco 33.
That's right.
So we kind of go at each other a good bit.
Oh, Lord.
I saw a cane pole at a convenience store, and I got it, and it was a 12-foot cane pole, and I put me a hair jig on it. Or no, it's plastic. It's plastic jig on it, and I did a video. I said, Eric Cagle here. I'm gonna start out with this new Elite Series. I don't know what I said. Something about
you said prototype. You said prototype.
Prototype. Bamboo. And Bad Batty Bamboo. If you can remember, triple B. I said, we're going to try it out here. I throw it out there, and sure enough, I have a fish come off the brush pile. I said, got one sniffing, set the hook, and caught a fish on it. And I said, come to the convenience store near you.
Yeah. Hey, growing up, man, how many cane poles did you see hanging out of the windows of vehicles, man?
Oh, gosh.
I mean, that's all you see, and it's sad. You don't see that no more. I mean, you see people camped on the creeks and, what
was crazy about Shane was I bought the first one, and Creek, my youngest son, Creek, my 9-year-old, was with me. He said, Daddy, where's mine? So I had to go buy a second one and put it in the truck. We ran them right out the window and come on home. We look like old school like we used to.
Bill Clark's one. That rod's 5 foot, Bill, that we're giving away tonight. 5 foot casting outlaw.
Yeah, it's a 5 footer. It's a bad mama jamma. I caught a 15 to 20 pound carp on it. The other day I've caught some big catfish on it. I boat flipped 2.5 pound crappie on it. It's a bad mouth.
It's a 5 foot. It's got some backbone, guys. Got a little tip. They're pretty tough. I mean, John and I, we abused them, end of the summer. I guess it was middle of the summer. When we went, I can't remember when first of the summer. Yeah.
I drove some up under the bridge, clapped every pile of them.
I remember that.
Stephen, you ain't got to post on Shane, but Stephen, he was
I'm
asking
to find.
It's if you want to win the rod when we announce it. This is not the announcement. It's www.fish outlaw outlaw.com. Fish
That's
out.
right.
But we'll do it here in the next 20 minutes. So y'all stay tuned and we're gonna make it happen. But Shane, tell everybody about what you and Big Daddy did to the fish. Y'all had some damn nice ones, son.
Yeah, man, my days run together. I'm blessed to be off sometime during the holidays. Not like I used to work all of them. Let's see.
Bad. I had no idea.
Jessica was off for a week, Shane. She couldn't even smell what that was.
Let's see. I've been working all this week. It's a busy week for us. We got some shutdowns. Let's see. It was that's right. I got back from Louisiana Friday night, Saturday, which would have been Christmas Eve, right? Yeah, I went out there Saturday, and I cracked some fish and found some. And then Sunday, Big Daddy and I got out there, and we caught a 227, couple 180s. We had some fat fish, and it's fun. Me and him found, he's been fishing that river, 40 years, and we would find trees and stumps together that I haven't found myself and come across. And I caught that 227 out of a brand new tree because we sent the picture to John. He said, your location service is on, Big Daddy. He's like, I got to turn that off. But yeah, we
tell what Big Daddy said. Big Daddy said, I don't know if I'm gonna stay out there all day. And y'all got it.
Oh yeah, I didn't feel it. Big Daddy said, hey, now I can't stay out there all day like you do, Shane. I said, yes, sir, that's fine. We'll get back. Hey, about 1 o'clock, we done hit a couple schools. I said, you ready to go? He said, I'll let you know when I'm ready to go. We stayed out there at 3 or 4 o'clock. I mean, we were at it all day. I mean, we were blessed to catch some. We seen a bunch of big fish, but they had a bad attitude. And I'm hoping these cooler nights are helping. We can get some color to the water. And somebody was asking what color jig Isaiah was. I was throwing a gray ghost in a shag color pattern, and I threw that Pops jig, that confetti blue. I threw it a lot. It's got just a hint of blue, and for some reason, Miller's Ferry fish love a little bit of blue. Big Daddy showed me that, and we caught some on some of those colors, and the gray ghost and that Pops jig it's confetti blue. If I hope I said that right, but we caught a lot of good fish, guys. They're on my page and Shane Jones fishing page, this page, and you can see them. And I put out a YouTube video of us kind of schooling, showing us catching those schooling fish. And I'm trying to get better with the videos, but eventually I'm gonna get somebody like John in there that knows what's up, and I'll just video him, and I won't fish. So
Isaiah,
it's all.
Isaiah, I'll tell you this, bud. These fish right now are chasing these shad around, wanting to fatten up for spawn.
Yes, sir.
Males know they're going to be in there and protect, the stump or wherever they're going to spawn. Females have to build them because they're building those eggs up. So they're chasing these shad around. They move around these shad. So if you can use something natural, a gray and black or a monkey milk, something like that, right now, that's hot. So
oh yeah.
You use something. Limits Tackle I just found out that they've had it. But that Limits Tackle, Stephen Goncalves at Limits Tackle's got one called Platinum right now. That thing is fire. If you call Steve at Limits Tackle, look him up on Facebook, Limits Tackle, and it's called Platinum. That thing is about as sharp as a shad as I can imagine.
I don't even know if I've seen this now. Hold on, he's holding out on me, folks. Hey, it's the first I heard about this. True story. Hey, man, I've donated some more of them gray ghosts to the trees, and I've started throwing a little 4-pound line, and doing it, and man, but like he's saying, Isaiah, the the shad pattern right now is huge because that 227 I caught, I don't think he'd eat enough. I mean, he was so fat, or she was. I mean, we let her go, of course, but it's just a shad pattern right now. I mean, you can't beat it. You know, especially the fish that want to eat, they're going to take it from you. James George, go ahead, John.
That platinum I'm talking about, limits tackle, go ahead and order you about 100. But
I'm going. Well, hey, you heard it from Johnny, so
it just looks like a shad. It's a plastic, and you can catch, when he says limits tackle, you can catch a limit of fish about on one plastic. So,
oh yeah, I've thrown them till they turn white. You know,
you fish a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. James George said, "I'm going to Alabama River in the morning. Got any idea what the water looks like around Salachi?" I'm not sure about Salachi, James, but hey, the main river's hot, man. Creeks, I'm going to save you some time. Them creeks, it's not happening. Salachi may not be, but I know the river, it may have some color to it because I haven't been down there. I know some water been coming down it. So hopefully you got a little bit of stain because it's been super clear here lately, man. Just call me on the phone, James. You got my number, and I'll see if I can steer you in the right way for sure.
James, I'd look for deep blowdowns on the river that are adjacent to losing creeks.
That's exactly what I've been catching fish on. And the good thing about it, guys, they're moving, James. So if I told you where I caught them today, they'll be gone, man. Because right now, like John said, they're trying to get in gear and get ready to run. The hormones are going. The females developing eggs. They're trying to eat. They're fattening up for what they're going to do come March, and like John said, garden stumps, and it's so funny. And Big Daddy will tell you, he got to experience it. We were fishing a tree, and we would catch 5 or 6 fish. They would run out and school in front of the tree, go in circles like a merry-go-round. You might catch 1 or 2, and they run right back in the tree. And you would never seen that if it wasn't live scope. Never knew that even existed. And I've seen them do it a bunch. So that was fun. But you just keep that live scope down, that side scan, James, and like I said, they were been anywhere from 12 to 20 foot deep. So that's all I can tell you. But if you need to call me or anything, James, let me know. But I would start right there at Salachi, and you can go up or down river for sure. Let's see if I'm missing any questions. Oh, Crappie Crane's got a good question there, John.
What's that?
He said, explain how a cold front affects the fish. It seems like they drop to the bottom and wouldn't rise up as the day got warmer. There it is.
Very, very, very good point, bud. So, exactly like I said earlier in the show, we went down to Talc and we had a cold front come in.
Mm-hmm.
And up, everybody had been busting on schools. We're good. There were big, thick schools of crappie, and everybody was just down, busting them up on the lake. Well, the cold front come in and it pushed the bait down to like 16 feet. And guess what? Where'd the fish go? They pushed down too. So the fish are going to be below the bait, and they were there, and it spread them out. And all those schools that everybody been busting them up on were dispersed, and the bait was low. We were having to fish, deep, and we get a couple of floaters that would get up above the bait, and we caught some of those. Like I said, normally we would have been done by 10 o'clock if it had been big schools, but that cold front came in and it just pushed that bait down, and the pressure did. Think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Pressure.
That's the whole key right now, guys. It's not the temperature; it's the different pressure.
That's
and
right.
You'll know it because the bait. You'll be like, "Where's the shad?" And then you look down there; they're 10 foot deeper than they were the last time you fished. So,
absolutely. So before you go, look at little things like that, and it's got to be tough. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm ready for the weekend. I'm gonna go fishing." That cold front comes in and messes with the fish that everybody been catching during the week, and you're like, "I got my day off, and now everything's."
Yeah, it cycles like that sometimes. Can't do anything about it. But hey, there's a reason why you're not seeing the fish in the places you were seeing them, and that's the thing. Big Daddy went fishing yesterday. They were off. He said he didn't get a bite. And he went everywhere him and I went. Monday. Excuse me. Yeah. Sunday. Excuse me.
I fished around the house today, and we have had like really clear water for our lakes, and it's been abnormal because of the drought we were in. Well, we got some rain, and now it's muddying back up. And these fish are like, "What in the crap?" Got spread out. and you put a jig on them. They're like, I don't know if I want to. I don't, they got.
Yeah.
I almost think that Clearwater it got them where they could be a little picky. And
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
exactly.
That's like me like me in Louisiana. We had eaten Quiznos. If I hadn't went Quiznos when I went to meat shop, I'd have financed all that food in there because I'm telling you. So that's the same way that clear water. You can, oh man, I'm good. You cloud it up a little bit. I think you're right.
This Muddy Water's got to get their head back where it was normal in life, saying, "Hey, I can't just damn second guess on everything. I need to eat it." And
Right.
but we got some Muddy Water again, and they're still picking the jig up at 2 to 3 feet, and but they were picking it up at 6 to 7 because man, that's so rare for us, so rare because
yeah, big time. Yeah, since I've known you, John, you always talk about it's always been chocolate milk down there because John would be like, I can see John in the background when we used to do the shows off his porch, but this water, it usually starts getting muddy around before Thanksgiving. And we've been muddy for a while. Now it's been the Tom Bigby's been clear. And we said that several shows back, but the Tom Bigby's probably getting a little stained, and there's a lot of people cracking fish down there right now. I see a lot of people doing it. But Darian asking about are any big fish starting to show up? Seen any over 3 pounds yet? I don't know if anybody in our group's caught 3 pounds yet here lately.
You won't get where I live. You won't get one that big, but I mean, up there at Gunnersville and
it's
Alabama, they're gonna have a tournament this upcoming month in at Lake Gunnersville. They're probably gonna have one push that. I would like to think February, the beginning of February is when you start seeing those. Tipping the scales at 3 pounds. They get egg sacs starting to really fill out. Here where we live, we won't see a 3 pound, but that in North Alabama, that Tennessee River chain, you'll start seeing them, and then over Mississippi when they start putting the water back in those flood control lakes, you'll start seeing it.
Yeah, we'll be there in February, hopefully cracking 3 pounders. I got my fingers crossed. I'm gonna make my trip, and I'm hoping my forearm hurts like Jessica was holding that rod out there. They caught there's 2 fish they got mounted, got 2 3-pounders.
Yes.
I can't remember that. One of them's 309, 306. I can't remember.
That's 6.
Oh, Jessica's bigger. Jessica, what was yours? I forgot.
I'm sorry, 308 and 302. Excuse me.
There you go. I knew hers was bigger, guys. So. But no, I haven't seen any, Darian. They're coming though, man, for sure. Holding that platinum is a plastic jig from Limit Tackle. Limit's Tackle, not Taxel.
Yeah.
Mr. G Alfred, he said, Shane, do you prefer mono or braid for tough structure? Man, it's hard to get away from that braid. G, I use a lot. I use some 5 and some 8. Only reason I've been throwing a little fluorocarbon for when I go to Florida because of open water fish. That 4-pound line, I can get away and get that jig out there. But if you're fishing some tough stuff, that braid's hard to beat, John. What do you think?
You know me, I'm a braid guy. Unless I'm fooling with that long pole, I'll put that
right
there. But some guys, everybody's worries about a lot of people that come over to crappie fishing, come over from bass fishing, they worry about fish being line shy and all that. I just don't have that experience with it.
Right.
They're either
I agree.
They're not. Most of the mistakes are made of you doing something wrong once a fish
presentation.
I'm not going to say that they don't pick up on the line somewhat, but I've been throwing braid now for 4 years, so if that tells you anything.
Oh yeah, exactly. I agree. I mean, Eric Cagle catches more fish than anybody I know, and he uses high-vis 6-pound K9 fluorocarbon at down south on the Coosa River chain. That water stays clear year round. So, but I do use braid if I fish a lot of stuff. What's she laughing about?
Post.
Who's that?
Big Daddy.
Jack. Well.
Oh goodness, I ain't fixing it. All right, let's see. Oh, Corey finally a home during CrappieKast. My boys have a basketball games for months. It's time to get on the big ones. Yeah, he's fitting to get cranked up on the Warrior up here at Bankhead. I've been Brandon agreed with us. Braid, except for super clear water. You know, when they went to Dale Hollow and stuff up there, was it Dale Hollow? One of them lakes up there was clear. I can't remember which one they fished. Oh, Big Daddy say, John, send me those 8616 settings. They mounted my unit up down there.
Hey,
John was telling a story, guys. Big
Good
Daddy
job,
carried me
Crappie.
to get my unit, my 8616, and I left it at his house when I came home like a dummy. And it won't be the last time I do something dumb, I promise. But I sure left it down there. I'm gonna get it this weekend though. Let's see. Corey's asking, do either one of y'all ever use slip corks? John, you still use slip corks a good bit in the spring, don't you?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there it is. I know he does.
All right. Here's my deal. So right before they spawn, Jessica and I got some tops, and we can set those slip corks. And those fish, like they got certain areas, like, and it's only like 4 feet of water, and they'll like stage in those tops, and like you can float those slip corks right above the top of those tops, and there'll be like big ones in there, and we'll just sit there and just cast over the top on those corks, and there's like the cover is so thick that you don't want to like try to get inside of it, but we'll just throw them, and they'll just come right over the top of those tops, and man. The slightest little tick of that cork, they're on it.
What kind of cork are you using? A little football cork, John? What kind of cork are you using?
I use anything with a little cheap styrofoam cork you get from Walmart, and then I'll use like like the little plastic bead, you know, top up where to slip. But yeah, we use those, and we'll get it set perfect because with the live scope you can see the depth.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And
where they're sitting there, exactly right.
We'll throw over the top of those things, and we'll just barely move it, barely tick it, and they'll be so tight and that stuff before they move in there and move.
You'll just see them ease out. Bloop. Whoop.
Yeah, what they're doing, they're just sitting there waiting to the right water temperature to move those cypress trees, and the stuff's so thick that you can't get anything in there to them. So we're just like barely moving over the top of them. Killer.
That's right. Before I forget, John, we're ways in the show, guys. Look, John and Jessica. Well, I thought I added it on here. Where in the world? There it is. They got them a new toy. Y'all see that right there?
Oh yeah, we do.
Y'all see that bus right there? That thing is plush on the inside. I'm talking about bunks. It is my granddad had one of these when I was little, and we've got to help them think of a name for it. So John said, hey, post it on the show, and we'll think of a name for that bus. They picked it up last week, didn't you, John?
Yeah, all right. So we actually bought it on Christmas Day. So that we bought that bus. We're looking for a name. Put it back on there, Shane. All right. So we're looking for a name for the bus. We're gonna take it on fishing trips, and it's got a queen bed in the back, 2 bunk beds, a couch. So if anybody wants to go fishing, maybe we can all get together and go. Not too many of us, but a few of us if we get.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, we bought it. And we live in the HOA neighborhood, so we're waiting for.
Thought the gypsies done moved in.
Yeah, we're waiting for the feedback from the HOA. But anyway, we're looking for a name for the bus.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm doing some adjustments to it and making it great. But we could pull the boat with it. It was, take the truck. But anyway, we're gonna have a big time with that thing.
The slabbing wagon, that's what Kevin Hicks said. Slabbing cabins, crappie wagon. That's some good stuff.
I like crappie wagon.
Yeah, I like crappie. Holden Hicks come up with that. That's a good suggestion. That's funny.
I like it. We're gonna have a big time with that thing.
Tommy Randolph said CrappieKast short bus. Oh, he went there. Hey, oh man. Goodness. Hey. Oh yeah. Brandon Threadgill, why we cry? He said crappie bus. We need to talk about Brandon. Brandon went to Florida this past week, the other day, yesterday or something. He caught 15, 30 something, had a 260, 230. He cracked some big ones. I hope I know where he was because I'm hoping to go down there, but I didn't message it. But I meant to say congrats on that, Brandon. I don't know if he's pre-fishing for the Crappie Masters or what, but hey, he rings some up, buddy.
I think after we were down there, the band got back together.
Yeah. Oh yeah, probably so. After you left, John, they Probably did, man. Let me make sure to go back up here and make sure I ain't missed any questions. Man, this hour flies by. Why can't when I get on the treadmill, guys? That 20 minutes is killing me. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
It's time.
All right, if you
there
want
it is.
Jessica's gonna say number what?
7.
Number 7. All right, so
Number 7.
Post www.fishoutlaw.com. Post it to this post, and then post it to your own Facebook page or whatever you're viewing on. Shane's got so many viewing outlets. He's got his.
No kidding.
I don't say what we call his light that he's got on his face right now, but
y'all look. Yeah, I got me one of those fancy lights because I got to pick up these rosy cheeks. If y'all don't know, next year I'm dyeing this thing white. Santa Claus, ho ho ho! I'm making me some money next fall. So. Let's see. I'm sure somebody's won by now. Let me refresh this thing, guys, and I appreciate it. There's been like 115 people on here. They timed it just right.
They did. Well, sitting on go.
There we go. Let me count them up right here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like Larry Waller, but let me look again. I'm gonna refresh it. Looks like Larry Waller won the car. I'm at the right. Hang on, car.
Oh.
Sound like I'm on Price is Right. You hear me? Oh goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It was number 7 now. She said number 7.
Yep, Larry Waller. That's him right there, number 7. I looked twice, guys.
Larry Waller, if you will send us your information and your address, screenshot of doing both things, post it on your Facebook account, and we got you here on the broadcast. So you got a rod headed your way.
Yeah, man. There's plenty of people shared it, guys. We appreciate each and every one of y'all doing that because when y'all type it in, it really pushes that. It makes the numbers go really up big time.
It helps the Outlaw, poll company, and helps us. We appreciate you tuning in to do it. Jessica's laughing. Go ahead, Chad.
Express boat giveaway.
Yeah, Chad again.
Hey, maybe one day, buddy. Hey, Chad. Look, you never limit the good Lord. I'll tell you that. I mean, you never know.
That's right.
I mean, I guarantee you.
Chad, I was up there at the Wally Marshall. That's when I was sitting at the bar having some drinks and eating some food. And we sat down by one of the big dogs for express boats. And he gave me his card. He said, "You call me." And he said, "If you ever want anything and need anything, we'll talk about it." Well,
there you go.
Got Jessica a hat. He said, "I want to make sure Jessica gets, a hat." And come sought us out. Remember at the booth, Shane? He come over there by the next day.
Yeah, he sure did.
And you don't ever know what's going to happen with you.
No, you don't.
February of last year, or this time last year, Shane and I were talking about starting this.
Sure did. One night about this time. Sure did.
Yeah. And,
we haven't been at it a year, guys. And look at, there was 120 people on here at one time live. I mean, who would have never guessed that? So, Corey got another question. He said, "What's the best technique to catching crappie 15, 20 foot deep? They're in schools. When you're chasing them, what's the best way to cast to them?"
All right, Corey, this is what I do. If they're that deep, you're gonna have to start out with at least an eighth ounce jig head.
Oh yeah.
If they're moving like you're talking about, you're gonna have to get behind them. And if you can never get directly behind them, where you can dump out in front of them and come over the top of the school, it's gonna be your best bet. That would be my best suggestion. Now, if you get a lot of wind involved with it, it's going to get more and more complicated. But right now, if what you're talking about, what I think you're talking about, that running wide open and going up, down, you need to see if you can get directly behind the way they're going and dump it out in front of them and hope they don't change left, right. That's my best suggestion for you. The 16th ounce, the 30 seconds, that's out the window when they're doing that. So
yeah, John's got the best. You have to treat it kind of like dove hunting. You have to lead those. You really, especially if they're going left, you got to kind of guess how far they're going. You'll figure it out, Corey. It depends on the speed of the fish too.
It's like, I hope it wasn't like Jessica shooting those the other
Shut
day.
up.
John then went dove hunting what the other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
The most in the field. How about that? We won't say the number. I kill the most in the field.
I hear you.
And I'm terrible.
I Yeah, Corey said he's been using too light of a bait. Yeah, Corey, you can't. John, what's your rule of thumb? You told us a couple of times on the show back as far as depth. What's your 16th and 8th? That way, I remind everybody. Plus,
All right. Normal,
plus Corey.
normal conditions, normal wind, 12 feet and above is 16th of an ounce. You get below 12, it's an eighth. Uh, Add some wind to it, it's going to bump those numbers up. And you know what I'm saying? You're going to go to 10, 16th, and then 10, below 10 and 8. So add some wind and some current, and those numbers differ. But normal conditions, that's my numbers.
Yeah, I know. Last year, when Tommy and I got into on the Alabama River, you got to realize they have three turbines running. We were throwing quarter ounce with a 3-inch bait, and that water was getting it. I mean, but we had to really go to a quarter, and they were eating it, Corey. It was just slow enough to go by them, and you would have to kind of feel the bite more than feel the thump because that's a lot of weight for them to suck in. But you'll feel the pressure on them. But get you an eighth, Corey, and if you have to go small profile, peg you a weight an eighth above it or something, some tungsten or whatever. Just get it down there to them.
Shane, I'm throwing I got a couple tops I'm fishing right now. The fish are real shallow on them in a certain spot. I'm throwing a 30 seconds ounce. I'm telling y'all, I wish I had the jig in here with me. The profile of the plastic is about the size of a dime. It's as long as a dime. So if you want to look in your mind and look at it,
Yeah,
it is a number 6 hook.
like a little tadpole.
Oh, it's tiny. It is so tiny. But the fish are so, everybody messes with these fish. And I go in there and I want to catch them because I know everybody messes with them. They know they're there. But I want to go in there and know I can catch them when they get a hard time with it. So I keep going there and trying to catch me one or two every time just because I know everybody messes with these fish. They stay there and it's caught. But
Yeah, the downsizing is the key. That's what I do. We've been doing those tops. We'll throw plastic. I'll throw the little bonehead, the little slim stick, and then I'll take that hair jig, whether it be a pops or a limits tackle, gray ghost, and I'll just walk it down the limb and see if I can get one to address the bait. If he ever addresses that bait, it's a high probability I'm gonna catch him. But you got to get him to address your bait. Like we ran into some the other day. I posted on my Facebook page that I caught 6 or 7 out, and then they backed up in the tree, and they wouldn't have nothing to do with anything I threw. They just, like John said, they're kind of moody right now. But when the water's got stain to it, and we got some steady cold weather, it's fixed. And we always say that you're fixing to light them up, guys. It's fixing to be fun. I mean, everybody's got to experience that. It's happening down in Florida right now. It has been for the last several weeks, and it's going to start inching its way up towards us. For sure.
it's definitely a migration pattern. Everybody's like, well, why do you say that? I'm like, well, it gets warmer down there quicker. I mean, think about it. It gets warmer down there. It just moves up more and more towards us. And, they had a cold front down there and it messed those fish up. And we just happened to be down there when that happened. And Shane had been down there the week before and bust them in the face.
Yeah, I cracked 50, a couple days in a row, and I told John, I said, hey, don't play around, go right here. And he's like, I'll do it, And when we were in the duck blind when I caught him. Hey, we was waiting on some geese to start working, and he's like, man, it ain't happening. I said, that ain't good. So Patrick Garner's got a good question here. Let's see, how much adjustment for a jig weight do you give when using a plastic versus hand tie example? A 16th hand tie to a jig with plastic. I guess he's talking about just far as casting and throwing or the sink rate or what.
Well, that's a very good question. All right.
Yes, it is.
So is the hand tie marabou or is it bucktail? All right. So here's the deal. That bucktail is going to float more than that marabou is. That marabou is going to give a more of a free fall. That bucktail is more solid and it's going to slow that jig down. All right, well, you got a plastic. You got to think about it. Plastic wants to float, So the best thing I can tell you to do is take both of them and do you a count. You know what I'm saying? Get on a piece of structure and shoot at it and make it like, say, a bridge piling. You got a cross member on the bridge piling. Get it at a distance and shoot that thing, and then count it down and do the different ones that you've got, and you can get you a count. Where it be 16th or 8th, because every material that you use. All right, let's just say this. I take a limit tackle piece of plastic. It's going to be smaller than some of these other plastics we use. They've got a deeper belly and more plastic to it. You got more of a profile trying to sink at that time, and it's going to slow it down. So the things I like to throw are very small in profile size, and they're going to sink faster than some of these other ones are.
Yeah, big time. Because I guess, Pat, you just tie it on and throw it. If it ain't working for you, cut that sucker off and tie something else on it.
Yeah, but you can find you something, a stationary structure and a cross member, and time it down.
True.
Get you a can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like John said, there's several factors: your line size, the wind, current. If the water's got silt in it, if the water's stained, if the water's clear, there's different. It's going to fall a lot different, A
mono fluorocarbon braid, everything's going to fall different. Now, I'll tell everybody this: if you want to throw braid like we do, if you get some wind, that braid will catch wind. So I tell everybody that fish with me. So if we got some wind involved and we're throwing into the wind, if you'll take the tip of that pole and stick it in the water, it will take some of that wind loop out and allow that jig to fall quicker.
There you go. That's a good tip, John, for sure.
If you the type of person likes to hold that rod tip up and wait for that jig to fall, if you got a lot of wind, if you'll you make a good cast, and you can see
that's right.
On four-face sonar, stick that rod tip down in the water, and it would allow that jig to fall quicker. And
that's a good. I nearly need to do it on my boat because my trolling motor is a little more forward, John. And when I'm letting that jig fall down to 15, 16 feet, that's a great tip. Put it in the water, like you said. That's a real good tip. I need to start reminding myself to do that, even if it's just to the side of the boat. Just right here, just let it get down in there, then start working your bait. That's a pretty good tip for sure.
Once you made that cast, it's dropping at that point. And when you stick that rod tip in the water, you want it as close to that trolling motor wherever it's pointing. That way you're directly up the beam of what you're looking at.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah. That's good stuff, guys, because, that you're not throwing something super heavy. You got a 10+ mile an hour wind, you need little tips like that. That's why we shoot the jig a lot than cast it. We'll try to shoot it, keep it lower to the water and stuff. Let me make sure I ain't missing no questions before this thing gets going on. I don't see any that I missed, guys. Hey, guys, we're going to start talking at the first year, April the 6th, Crappie Master Kings of the River. It's happening in Miller's Ferry. We're going to start really pushing that the first of the year, guys. We got just a week. I mean, New Year's Eve's Monday, guys. So, heck, we got 2024. Go ahead, John.
Who wants to go get the belt? That's what we talk. We're
gonna try to get some belts made, guys. We're gonna be cheesy, like the World Wrestling, the WWE stuff. We're gonna have some belts made. Hey, we're gonna have some fun.
We're not joking around about this. Who wants to come get the belt?
Exactly. Hey, it's April. Go ahead, John.
Everybody wants to talk about Alabama River, this Alabama River. Come get the belt. Don't
exactly.
I see all this. I caught this on the river. I caught this on the river. Aaron Knight, Eric Cagle, Brandon Threadgill. Y'all come get the belt. I mean,
hey, the first annual CrappieKast Kings of the River. Crappie. Hey, Kings of the River. We're gonna give away some belts, man. We're gonna, there's gonna be some mess talk the whole tournament. And it is April the 6th. So, hey, your guys with a cane pole and a cork and a minnow can catch 14 pounds just as fast as anybody with live scope, because those fish are going to be on the bank. You're going to have deep fish, shallow fish. They're going to be all over the place. So,
hey,
And you're gonna have the best weightmasters ever.
yeah,
Jessica.
oh
Hey,
yeah, hey, there, John and Jessica's going to be. Big Daddy will be sitting there with them.
yeah,
Hey, he'll be going live, flying the drone like he always does with with the big tournaments, and I'm gonna be out there stinking it up, cussing because I ain't caught no big fish. So hey, don't come by me.
Dip, bring your crew from down south.
Yeah, bring that crew for south. Exactly right. Hey man, I want that ramp at Bridgeport full of crappie fishermen for a change. I'm talking about full.
Yeah, we
You know?
call them all out. Y'all come on now.
Yeah. Don't post them pictures and be scared of that little tournament. Come on, like I said.
Mr. Hudson.
Kevin and Jessica Hicks.
Yeah, Travis Hudson, he's coming. I know he'll be there. Like I said.
Tim.
Shiloh and Tim. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be there. Hey,
we're gonna have the crappie bus up there. I don't know if we named it yet tonight.
We haven't.
No, oh yeah, guys. Before we get out of here, John and Jessica's got a new addition. We're trying to think of a name for that bus. So next week's show, y'all give some suggestions for it, because hopefully we'll get a name and John and Jessica likes it. John don't matter, just Jessica likes it. So I'll go on and tell it like it is. Jessica likes it. Hey, we might give something away to y'all for whoever has the winning name for sure.
It will be at the tournament.
Yeah, it will be there. Kevin and Jessica's coming. I expect them there, man. I'm telling you. And man, I want to see 7 big uns weighed in, and those bass guys fill that Bridgeport landing up. I want to fill it up with crappie fishermen, man. It's not really about the fish. That's just and it's bragging rights, and there's going to be some money involved. We're going to try to get some money involved. We got till April 6th. I got a few sponsors going to stick in a little bit, and I already got. As a matter of fact, I'm glad I've got 24 jigs from Pop's Jigs and Trixie Sticks Jigs. I've got 24 from them gift certificates. So I got, $200 worth of jigs already to give away at the tournament.
That's going to be money. I mean, we already talked about the money.
Yes. We're going to try to get, make it $100 a boat, nothing crazy, and get in there. And, so if we have 40 boats, you're looking at some money then plus the sponsors. So I'm fired up because I know what the Alabama River can do in April. And that's why I really want to do it and kind of put it on the map, because a lot of people don't get to experience, Oh, Mr. Ruben Flores tuned in. Appreciate you, Ruben. I seen where he tuned in there. Thank you, Ruben. Ruben stays busy, boy. He stays busy on TikTok, and he's all over the place.
I feel like if you show up, we might have a fish fryer going.
Yeah, there's no telling. There's no telling what we'll have.
It's going to be a lot going on. It's not going to be your average crappie tournament. It's going to be a lot of friends, fellowship, and a good time.
Yes.
When you show up to weigh in, everybody's going to be having a good time and hanging out. I feel like we're going to have the fryer fired up. I feel like between Shane and I, we can have some crappie fillets cooking. We're
going to do that. We're going to try to. Hey, like I said, we're going to have fun, man. And like I said, we this show's for fun and giving out a little bit of information. So, like Kevin just said, as John said, it's going to be a big time. That's what we're going to have, a big time. And that's what it's.
Fellowship.
That's right.
Fishing and food.
That's exactly right. That's it, guys. Like I said, because somebody asked Corey, it's going to be April the 6th at Bridgeport Landing in Camden. April the 6th. So I guess that's the first weekend in April. I imagine first Saturday in April. So we got Bridgeport, one of the nicest landings in the state of Alabama. Nice land. You can launch 3 or 4 boats there at the same time. I mean, it's huge landing. Got a real nice deep pier. It's easy now, easy to get in and out of, and so I got blessed and got it. Go ahead, John.
If you don't own a belt that says what Kings
of the River, CrappieKast Kings of the River.
If you don't own a belt that says that, you know how your butt there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now,
there's been trophies given away as tall as Eric's got a trophy as tall as he is. But hey, ain't nobody got them belts. So
you want everything you can win. Hey, he ain't got a belt.
Nope, that's right. Hayden wins everything gets in. So, like I said, man, we're gonna talk it up. Go ahead, John.
Hey, does Captain Coleman have a belt?
Who?
Captain Coleman. Do they have a belt?
No, Captain Coleman, best guys ever. The goats. I'll call Mr. Steve Coleman right now. Say, get your butt. He'll probably get on wheels and come down there because he probably wants in some belts. He's that type of guy. So
we're gonna have a big time with the guys. That's the bottom line.
Man.
Good time. We'll do giveaways as we get it donated. It'll be an event. We'll make it as good as we can. And
yes, we're working. We're gonna work at it big time, guys. So we got a few months. We're gonna really start pushing in January. Then I'll start putting some numbers out. And like I said, $100 a boat. If we'll get on the show and say, hey, who's coming? We can probably put 25, 30 names together real quick. Who's coming? And then I'd love to have 50 boats a minimum. I'd like to have 100. Hey, I want Mitch Blunt and all of them coming from Georgia. I want them coming over here, son, and get in on this. So,
I feel like Mitch will never come.
Yeah, I know they will.
Yeah. The people that want to be a part of something new and get something different like that, I feel like they'll come.
That's right. And like I said, there's no intimidation, guys, because it is April 6th. Fish are going to be on the banks. Fish are going to be in the timber. Fish are going to be in the brush. There's going to be some roaming fish. There's a chance, we wanted to put it right there, right there around the prime time for everybody to catch those fish. So
we want it in the fat sack days. I mean, we feel like it'll take you 15 and a half, 16 pounds to win this thing.
That's what we want on good conditions. Yes, sir. That's what I'd love to see. I'd love to see 7 fish, 16 pounds, and I've seen Brandon Threadgill do it on there, and Eric done it during the tournament, so it can be done. So we'll wrap this show up, man. 75 people still on here. Appreciate everybody that tuned in. Larry Wallard, he won the rod. Congratulations to him. Email. Message me your address, and I'll get it to John, and they'll mail that rod straight to your front doorstep, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in, liking all our stuff, man. My Facebook, it's growing by the day. So the show's growing, YouTube's going. We're still on Apple Podcast and Spotify. It's not taking off too much, but I still put stuff on there, hopefully to keep growing. But appreciate you guys. YouTube's growing too. We just got monetized, so I'm putting stuff on there, and hopefully we will put some of the tournament on there. So, John and Jessica, y'all stay on here. I'm going to end this thing, and we'll be back next Thursday, 7 p.m. Appreciate y'all, guys. Thank all y'all.